This Breakroom episode was sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that makes launching your own website a breeze.
Welcome back to the Breakroom. Could hair dye make you dumber? How do vagina teeth actually work? What if worms were super smart and big and started eating people? We're gonna force resident new Rockstars expert, science nerd extraordinaire Berg to explain all of these things using science.
Okay, good. Yeah, now I know what the game is. Good. Okay, good.
Welcome back.
Good.
Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go.
Okay,
We
all
explain
right.
the rules.
Well,
Jess.
before I explain the rules, let me introduce you guys. I'm gonna laugh so much through this.
I'm putting it together.
Again, if you weren't here from the beginning, we did not tell Berg what we were really gonna do. We just know that Berg is literally very smart, knows a lot about science, anything, biology, sociology, psychology.
Yeah.
And
And
he
he's
has
great
the
at
answers to.
improv.
And he's great at improv.
So we're gonna throw a bunch of crap at him and force him to give us.
I just found out more about what I'm doing on the break room today from that intro. Literally, all day Slack has been like, hey, here's the break room script. Berg, don't look! Or like, oh, hey, here's the break room thumbnail. I'm at a Berg, don't look!
You can't look, because we're gonna make, so I'm also, Alex Berg is here and Gina Ippolito, and I'm here too as Jessica Clemons. Thank you. But that was the whole concept of this game, was also that he has to guess the movie and
and explain the science behind some of the
Sure.
bigger plot points of these films.
Great. Yeah, let's do it. All right. I'm on
Do you have a
board.
name for it yet, or did we?
A name for the game?
Yeah, a name for the game.
Sci Curious was what I pitched when I floated through the production meeting earlier.
That's SCI for anyone who
Yeah,
thinks he's talking about psyops. Editor Abby pitched Berg Nye the Science Guy.
Oh, yeah, Berg Nye the Science Guy.
I think
Yeah.
is like the perfect one for
Okay, yeah.
this.
Here's
kind of thing.
let me give you guys an example
There you
of this game using
Please.
a movie that we did not pick.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's say there's a group of crazy scientists who use extracted DNA from a mosquito to make dinosaurs.
Right, sure.
How does that work? Is that possible? Are they gonna eat us?
Okay, yeah, so I can't fathom what movie this could be. I'm good at science, but dumb at movies.
It's Mystic Pizza for
Yeah.
anyone wondering.
yeah.
Julia Roberts.
It must be Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
One of the good ones, one of the Chalamet versions. The
One of the show.
yeah, there's a couple.
I forgot about that one.
There's a Snyder cut of the Chalamet one. So then it'd be like, well, we would use, in the 90s when Jurassic Park was written, this technology was
guessed
not
it.
known. But thanks to
1
Jennifer Doudna, we have access to CRISPR technology, which is something bacteria use to fight viruses, to insert strands of DNA into their own sequences. We could do something like that with the ovum or a gamete of a modern
insane, dude.
lizard or...
I feel like CRISPR
avian-
DNA is going to be the answer to a lot of these. The rest of them
Might
are
be,
going to
yeah.
be magic.
Yeah, it might be, and magic.
Demon
But-
magic.
Yeah, you could. In theory, it's like bringing back the dire wolves, but they're not really dire wolves. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like they're like dogs that have some weird DNA in them. They're like
Yes.
the freeze-resistant tomatoes with the DNA from the Arctic char in them or whatever it is.
That's how the game works, except it's just with horror movies. I guess you could
I
argue.
think all mine are scary.
I guess you could
Yeah,
argue Jurassic Park is a horror movie.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I picked
it
an
depends on
obvious
the
one.
movie.
They're not going to be all that obvious.
Okay.
I will go
Well, the
first.
vagina
Yeah, Jess
teeth
is
one,
gonna
I
go
think
Shut
I
up,
might
that
have
was
a
not
guess.
the first one. That was not the first one. All mine are kind of gross, so just be prepared for that. Before we
Okay,
get
great.
really into it, though,
Great.
before I say my first one to Berg, I want to give a shout out to Sapphire523, 14-month member. I will watch anytime Jessica and Gina are on.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
Get out of here, Bird.
We call it the.
Hey, it's been real.
We call it the. I almost said. What's Jessica and Gina? I almost said Gina. That doesn't
Jennifer?
work. Gina. Oh yeah, Jennifer. Where's the
Jennifer.
fur come from? Oh no, Berg's not involved. This is just
no.
me. and you.
Jenica? No.
Jenica?
Jessina?
It sucks because J and G are the same kind of, so it's
I
like it's still
know.
Jessica.
Yeah,
We
G,
can-
G,
yeah.
J.
We'll figure it out. We'll work it out. We could also just
I
call
was
myself
thinking
Jessica.
Jennifer's body. That's why I said Jennifer.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing Shaw with a 1 gift sub and Christian Unpronounceable with 1 gift sub. Thank you
Thank you,
guys.
thank you, thank
also,
you.
get in the chat and let us know what movie or what scene from a movie you would want Berg to explain the science behind.
Yeah,
it can
yeah,
be as
yeah.
funny. It does not have to be as serious. This is mine. That's very serious. In this 2009 horror, a deranged German surgeon kidnaps 3 tourists and conjoins them surgically mouth to anus. Can we make this work? Also, should we make this work?
Okay, well,
We absolutely should. Is the first part of that.
should,
you are
yes. Yeah, so first off, I presume I guessed the name of the film.
Yes.
Sure.
Gotta be Human Centipede.
And that is one point word.
No, again, it's Mystic Pizza.
Yeah, it's Mystic. Everything is Mystic Pizza. Julia Roberts, America's sweetheart.
Yeah, America's
No.
ass to mouth sweetheart.
So let's look at this.
leave that in, Ryan.
Oh yeah, let me see how much of Human Centipede I can break down scientifically.
Keep in mind, I think a couple of them do. I haven't seen this movie in ages for a reason, but I think the middle one survives the longest. The other two die immediately, or like pretty far. Could you survive?
Wait, wouldn't the first one survive the longest?
I think he refused to eat. There was like parts of it that
that's
are like
on
that.
him.
Yeah, that's
but
yeah.
feasibly
if
couldn't
I'm the
work.
first in a line,
I blame that
I'm
guy.
eating a Hungry Man dinners every night. I don't care.
I got a couple. Let's start here, all right? This is a very, if any of you have ever read the book by Alan Watts, you'll appreciate where I'm pulling this from. We're all just tubes, right? You got an in tube, you got an out tube. The rest of it's just a complicated pipe to get food from the inside to the outside, right? So let's start there. We're all big tubes. And then in Human Centipede, really what we're doing is we're just lengthening the tube just a little bit, right? Now, you're probably thinking, hey, what about everybody past that first tube that's just eating reprocessed fecal matter and living off of that?
I was thinking that.
Okay. All right. Well, so here's where life imitates art. Okay. I got a dog. Her name is Gigi. Some of you have met Gigi. She's a what vets call a little nasty. She eats cat turds.
Okay.
She'll run into our house carrying them like a stogie hanging out the side, like W.C. Fields.
Where's she finding so many cat turds?
Dude, our neighbors have a cat that is like an outdoor cat, and there's a sandy patch in the side of our driveway, and it is a A-plus snack station. Jess, you get this?
I got it. I just wanted to understand if I could just, if you eat corn, does it just go through everybody?
Well, but so
here's a happy place.
So here's the thing. So me and my girlfriend have had to do a bunch of research. Like, why is our dog so excited to eat this cat shit? It's because cats are obligate carnivores. Their feces are very high in protein, and so still have a lot of nutriment that a dog can get from eating it. So in a Human Centipede situation, if someone were on like, Jordan Peterson's carnivore diet or something like
That's
that.
the last person whose poop I would want to eat.
Yeah, but the first person whose poop you'd need to eat.
Okay, this is good to know.
Right? Like, because if someone were just eating like spinach, like, yeah, you'd get a lot of bulk.
Okay.
If you were number 2 in the Centipede, but you wouldn't really be getting a lot of
Number 2.
sustenance.
I chose the
you know?
worst movie.
We're coming out of the
I
gate
like how
swinging.
I'm getting disgusted.
We're
by
coming
it.
out of the gate swinging.
Yeah, so
So it
I
has to
say
be like-
Human Centipede, can we do it? Yes. Should we do it? Yes. Should the 3 of us do it?
I'm in the front.
Chat vote.
I'm in the
Chat
front.
vote.
Shotgun. Shotgun. Sorry, my bad. Also, so does the first one have to eat like the most like grain, like just like things that are good for you?
No, he's saying
they'd
meat and
have
just
to be
meat.
eating like
Jerky.
they'd have to be eating like straight steaks.
And you
Yeah.
could.
You could.
You could, yeah.
Listen, if I'm ever Human Centipeded, I'll eat straight jerky if I'm in the front.
Here's the issue: is if you're in the front of a Human Centipede and you're eating straight steaks, right? Like that's not going to be good long term for your metabolism, your
Yeah,
heart, that
exactly.
sort of
So
stuff.
you're gonna die.
But
okay.
your more
Yeah.
immediate concern is that you have someone sewed to your asshole. So like
Yeah.
that starts taking like a little bit less of a priority. Like I'm not worried about my cholesterol
That's
if
true.
I've got someone's lips sewn onto my butt because of a deranged
I'm thinking
scientist.
only
I was
about
worried
my
like that person in the middle. My initial thought was like, how are they watching TV? Like, what's the couch situation in a Human Centipede?
They're watching
situation?
TV the same way you do on an airplane. Where you're like, I'm not watching a movie, but they're watching Freaky Friday. Like you're just catching a glimpse.
Well,
You know?
I think I don't, for that reason and that reason alone, I don't want to be Human Centipeded. I don't
Yeah.
want to have to rely on other people for my entertainment
You know what?
needs.
Well, that's the whole point of the movie is you don't really get a choice.
Yeah,
he kind of just grabbed you.
Let's just take an anonymous vote. Okay, everybody close your eyes and vote honestly. Would you want to be Human Centipeded? Raise your hand if yes. No
And
hands up
what
if no.
number would you like? 1, 2, or 3?
Yeah,
We
We
all
all want
want
three.
one. We all want one.
We do all want
There's
one.
one freakazoid in the chat that's saying 3. It's Gina's
All
turn.
right, it's my turn. This is
Okay.
going to be a little bit harder, I think.
Okay, all right.
Oh, what? Mine was it?
Okay, there is a part of this movie. If I tell you the entire plot of the movie, you'll get it immediately. But there's a part of this movie, a plot point that relies on a woman who dyes her hair, and that hair dye seeps into her brain and makes her temporarily slightly dumber.
Okay.
There's also another section where they like pump something into the air to make people like slightly dumber and make bad decisions.
Is it like a Joker Batman like parade thing where he puts
is-
stuff in the beauty products kind of a situation?
Oh,
or-
it's similar.
Oh, it's not
but,
that,
But
though.
this is specifically a brunette dyes her hair blonde and is about to go on an outing with a group of friends. And the people who are the puppet masters want her dumber, want her blonde and
Okay.
dumb for this trip that these friends are taking. Have you
Okay.
guessed it in the chat yet?
This is I know what this is, and you're going in such a wild
I mean,
direction.
because it's like
for
if
it.
I say, okay,
Yeah, it's
they're
very-
going to a place in the middle of a forest. Some might call it a wooden hut in the forest.
Is it Cabin in the Woods?
Yes, there it is.
Really? They dye someone's hair blonde?
It's a significant part. It's
Yeah,
in there, though. It's
they,
in there.
they basically they want everyone to fulfill their role. So there's like
Right.
the jock,
The
and
jester.
the jester,
yeah,
and the friend who's supposed to be like, oh, the slutty one. She comes in the beginning and she's like, "Do you love it?" And her hair is blonde, and they're like, "Why'd you do this?" And then they say
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
they're talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, well, the hair dye is working to lower her IQ."
It's so funny because when I think of Cabin in the Woods, the first image that comes to mind is Richard Jenkins sprinting and panicked down a hallway with a key card going, "No, everybody out of the way!"
Oh yeah,
You know,
I mean,
like-
I'll never get the
It's so good.
the blood through the blowhole of the mer person.
God. It's the third act of that movie
It's so
is
good.
absolute
If you
perfection.
haven't seen it, go and see it. But
if you
would
haven't seen
would
it,
this
please
work?
do.
Could
Yes.
you put chemicals in hair dye to make someone temporarily dumber and make them make dumb horror
mean,
movie decisions?
Temporarily, no, but like lead can be absorbed through the skin,
okay.
and so you know the phrase "the Mad Hatter" or "Mad
Yes,
as a Hatter."
I thought that was mercury.
Oh wait, yeah, you're right. That is
Gina,
Mercury.
switch spots.
Oh, I'm the
We enjoyed
science.
that.
I am the
Mercury.
science nerd now.
We enjoyed
Okay,
that.
but
Gina was right.
but I'll tell you this about lead. So you know how now we have unleaded gasoline? We used to have leaded gasoline.
I remember it smelled great.
Awesome.
It
You could drink
smelled
this
so.
stuff.
If none of you are old enough to have smelled a car that uses, my parents had an old El Camino, and when it was cold, I would stand behind that car and go,
You're a weirdo.
"No, it smelled
Jersey.
great, Jess."
South Jersey. Well, so you could put mercury in the hair dye that would absorb through the skin,
Okay,
and like
okay.
just mercury basically just Swiss cheeses your neurons. Like
Okay.
it's not great. You could also do like if you had like a prion, which is not a living particle. It's like a protein shaped thing, causes bovine spongiform encephalitis, aka mad cow disease.
Mm-hmm.
If you could get that into someone's brain somehow, like that could like Swiss cheese them and
Okay.
make them dumb.
And you can just do it from the scalp?
Well, mercury you could. I don't think you could with prions. I think prions you'd have to ingest them. But
Cabin
mercury
in
you
the
could
Woods,
see
science holds up.
and I'm
that
saying-
science holds up.
And if you're dyeing your hair from brown to blonde, you're bleaching the hell out of it, right? So
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
already doing damage to your scalp. It could seep through.
Maybe, yeah.
technically,
Maybe,
a
and
little
if she
bit.
had to do it in stages, it
Yeah.
stays on even longer. Like if she had to go from like brown to light brown to blonde, you know how like when you have dark ass
Yeah.
hair, it's like
Yeah, they have to
you
do
do
that
it in
one.
stages, and then that means that mercury dye is staying on even longer.
Yeah, but I remember there was a scientist when I was in high school named Dr. Karen Wetterhahn. I don't know why, I can't remember people's names at parties, but this stays with me from, freshman year chem or whatever. But she was a scientist who was working with mercury, and she absorbed some of it through her skin, and that caused like a lot of like health complications.
Oh.
So in theory, if this bleach hair dye had a bunch of mercury in it, maybe that could make some endumbing effects that would serve the purposes of the Cabin in the Woods puppet masters.
There's also a plot point on the pit about someone who's using unregulated Korean skincare products, and something happens to them. I won't spoil.
Oh,
it, but
damn. I like that we're already 2 for 2 also. Like 2 things
I made that one
happen.
easy. When I
Oh,
said
wait, are they-
a wooden house in the forest.
I would never
Science, I meant the science being possible.
Oh, science being possible.
Two
Yeah.
things. Like you can technically human centipede
You
someone.
can human centipede someone and then make that first person in the line dumber by dyeing their hair.
Yeah. Yeah,
But then the first person is like, how do I look back there?
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
like,
Shut up and eat that shit.
You gotta get a blonde person who loves steak. First in line, human centipede, everyone else
That's
will be okay.
you.
That's me. I love steak.
Oh.
I eat steak.
But I'm not putting you at the front because I'm in the front. You keep trying to sneak your way to the front.
Whoever's behind me is gonna be going like,
It's just shooting out their nose. It's like when you drink milk and you laugh.
Ew. Comment in the chat where you guys want us in the human centipede. Where you want us?
oh no. Oh no, what have we done?
I know. Oh god.
Are we demonetized yet?
Yeah.
Also, I know I
We'll
should
get
have
there.
started with human centipede. I should have started
We'll
with
get
the
there.
easy ones.
Do it.
Really quick, I want to shout out Sarah Hatchadorian. I
Yes.
said your name before you came in. Hi, Sarah. Breakroom, please pitch Berginica?
Virginica.
Oh,
threw me
that's
off.
our human centipede.
God damn it. No, because
First in line.
The Berg's the first.
First in line.
And then we can't tell. Gina, I guess would be. I'm not last. I'm not playing the game if I'm last.
First
so
in line.
we're not doing this.
First in line.
Jessica, you already established you don't get a choice in the human centipede.
No, I get a choice, and I'm choosing not to do this game anymore.
Sarah said it. I'm first in line. Dibs. Dibs.
Based off just the nickname that flows, I'd be like in the back
Well,
going, oh,
because
well, what about this? What are we gonna just
It's because his name ends with a G and my name starts with a G.
Yeah.
I know, and mine's an A. God damn it. Okay.
Could be Bergessina.
I don't. You're putting
Name
yourself in the
second.
front. Try to put my name. We'll workshop this out later. Jesus Christ.
Jessica quits at the end of the
I
day.
know.
No, because they said I was gonna be in the third. Shout out to Christian Unrazzable with another gift sub. And
Thank you, Christian.
Is it Noding Shaw with one community gift sub. Thank you, baby.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, Zach here. One of our sponsors today is Squarespace. If the turn of the leaves makes you realize it's finally time to get that apple cider donut website up and running, Squarespace can make that happen faster than you can harvest a bushel of Granny Smiths, or Fuji's, or Honey Crisps, or any of the other good varietals. Squarespace is an all-in-one tool that gives you everything you need to make a website that looks good and does whatever you need it to do. If you're selling goods or services, Squarespace can help you untangle digital payment platforms with just a few clicks, making it easy to start receiving payments right away using popular payment methods like Apple Pay, ACH Direct Debit, Klarna, and more. If you're not a graphic designer, don't worry. Squarespace's design intelligence tool makes it so easy to get your website looking just right. It combines 2 decades of industry-leading design expertise with cutting-edge AI technology. Every Squarespace website is optimized to be indexed with a meta description, an auto-generated sitemap, and more, so you show up more often to more people in global search engine results. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/breakroom to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
This one is just as gross, but not as. No, it's not as gross. Actually, it's not gross at all because
We'll see. We can get it there.
women. So, in 2007's horror movie, the living example of the myth, the vagina
Dentata.
there you go. Ooh, dentata. The vagina coochie is real and very aggressive. Although a myth, it's not unheard of animals having horrifying genitalia. The snail can shoot a dart into another snail's body to deliver sperm. The genitalia of a female hyena is indistinguishable from the male penis, in which they mate, and they also give birth from that clitoris. For a horrifying scene, do not Google what a hyena looks like giving birth. Female ducks have maze-like privates that can barely fit a duck's corkscrew one, and don't get me started with tigers. So how possible is it in the human body to have similar shocking traits? Bonus, is it possible to just have teeth in your vagina?
Also, what's the best thing for those vagina teeth to eat if there's another vagina tooth sewn behind it?
Yeah, it's a different kind of human centipede, but you can get teeth in your vagina if you want to.
Okay.
So there was a case.
Wait, did you know what the movie is?
Oh yeah, it's teeth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Berg is like, I watch it every
teeth.
night.
Yeah. Can't fall asleep. I can't have a meal if I'm not watching teeth. It's just I don't have an appetite. That's how I keep my slim figure.
Just like that vagina. Now continue.
But so there was a case a couple years ago where you know how like cosmetics and like skincare things are kind of like in a gray area regulatorily? There was a French skincare place that injected stem cells into a woman's face for like it was like supposed to be like a rejuvenating treatment or something like this. But she started experiencing intense pain because the stem cells differentiated, and instead of forming into like normal cheek muscle and flesh, they were forming hundreds of tiny teeth in her face.
Gross.
Isn't that nuts?
If you put those under your pillow, does the tooth fairy take them for money?
No,
Yeah.
that's when the demon just comes out.
Yeah. Oh,
I
cheek
didn't
teeth?
ask for the grossest things. The answers. What do you? That is so.
You picked
Isn't
human,
that gnarly?
centipede, and then teeth.
But they want-
you
supposed to be
you
great.
picked
But the
mouth
teeth
to
were,
butt,
tiny.
and then vagina teeth.
Those were the two wildest ones. The other ones are just normal. They're kind of normal.
But the teeth were tiny, they were just basically little hard chunks, forming in her cheek. But so in theory, if you want, I don't know, I hear tell there's a lot of musculature control you can get to if you work out.
if I Kegel enough, I'll
Kegels.
get
Yeah.
I'll grow teeth.
Yeah, so so if
Then you can just eat carrots down there.
yeah, only way eating a carrot is in any way enjoyable. But I think in theory, if you could, if the science with stem cells were a little further along than where it is now, and you could take a pluripotent stem cell and you could program it to say, hey, turn into a molar or an incisor or whatever, and then you could line it, kind of wherever you wanted. They kind of do this with the burn technology now for soldiers. They spray a thin layer of stem cells onto severely burned areas, and they grow back into a kind of skin. So, if you were able to tweak that just a little bit, then you could get some teeth, and
I think this will be big in the body modification scene. They're doing things like filing their teeth into points. And
There's a lot
yeah.
of
putting
genital
piercings under the skin. I bet vagina teeth is next on the
There's
list.
so much to body modification that you can do with your genitals. I know that people will turn them into a 4-star on their dick.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
A 4-star Yelp review? Or
Yeah.
They just turn
4
it
stars. Excellent service. Parking was terrible.
But I'm one day I wonder if someone's put teeth in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go off, girls. That
Yeah,
do it.
if
Go
you
off,
do it,
people
put
that
it in
do
the chat. If you put teeth in your vagina.
That's crazy. That's crazy. The skin thing is insane.
Isn't that
It grew
nuts?
back that wasn't necessarily skin, because that just also shows how far we are. That we could create probably just actually just.
Well, it's
replicate our
also
skin growing.
who is this French cosmetologist that's just I got some stem cells.
Yeah. I think people try
Where?
all sorts of stuff. People
Yeah.
try all
But
sorts
he
of
just
stuff.
has it.
Yeah, where'd you
Yeah,
get them?
yeah.
Crazy.
Did
He's
you
like,
order
"Don't
them
ask
off the
that.
dark
Don't ask the
web?
question."
What had dark web stem cells? Where'd you get these?
That's crazy,
You know,
man.
You need
Yeah.
a guy? I got a guy. I got a
Yeah,
guy
I
in
can get you
Jersey.
stem cells,
I got a
yeah.
guy in Jersey can get you some
Yeah.
stem cells.
I get stem cells. I get a Terra-free switch too.
Coated in stem cells.
Yeah.
Gina. Gina.
All right, let's say there's an ancient. Mine are so much harder than Jess's.
Kind of hard.
Let's say there's an ancient creature who awakens every 23 years to feed on humans and replace his own creature organs, body parts with their body parts, eyeballs and such.
Yeah.
They're peepers, if you will.
You know the movie.
I see. I don't think I
don't
don't
know this movie. This
I don't
is
think
the-
I've seen this movie. Is this Jeepers Creepers?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that was the
And
peepers clue.
Justin Long is in this
Yes,
one, right?
yes.
Okay. I don't know the movie,
and he
but I know
sort
of
of
the movie.
uses these body parts. There's there's a dude, a Jeepers Creepers dude. His name,
Yeah.
they call him the Creeper, which means something very different if you're in the LA comedy community. But this one takes.
Berg would know all about that.
Put me on your practice team. Ooh, give me your number so we can schedule finding a coach together. Is it too real?
Yeah, a little bit.
Triggered everyone that was
Too
ever on an
real,
improv or sketch team. Yeah, the premise of this movie is that there's an ancient creature that awakens
Yeah.
every 23 years, and he uses these in the end. Spoiler alert for this 500-year-old movie.
Yeah.
He has Justin Long's eyes because he sort of replaces bits of him.
And he's ingesting them and then he grows back new eyes, or he's just plucking
I
out
think
an eye
just
and popping it?
Yeah, in that he cut them out because you see Justin Long's face skin,
Right.
And then so he's taking, but I do think he ingests some parts to heal himself. But it is sort of a Frankenstein's monster type of thing, if you will. I assume this also has to do with CRISPR technology.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh no, you're the science person, but it's not unheard of just taking someone's kidney and using
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
transplants are a thing. It's the eating it. See, I haven't seen Jeepers Creepers, so the details of the movie may be of import here. But certainly you could do a transplant. They do face transplants now, which are
That's
wild.
true, that's true.
You can do a heart transplant.
a face.
Yeah. Like people who've had
But-
their faces torn off by
wild chimps or something,
yeah.
but it doesn't look like the face it doesn't look like the donor face or your face
Yeah, it's a
because
totally
it's
new thing.
their face
On
over
your
your
bone.
bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a thing.
And also
So-
sometimes muscle tissue is like damaged and
but
yeah.
the ingesting it is interesting to me. There's a kind of animal called a flatworm that fans of Swamp Thing will be familiar with.
Who
Right?
isn't a fan of Swamp Thing, yeah.
Yeah, well, but because that's the thing in the DC in Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, and this may be general Swamp Thing more, but I come to it from an Alan Moore perspective. But this is based on real science. If you teach a flatworm to run a maze, then cut it up and feed it to other flatworms, the other flatworms will ingest the knowledge of how to run a maze.
Oh, so if I want to become an astronaut, I just have to eat an astronaut.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm done. I'm
Gina?
in. This
Yeah.
is my defense. It's not murder.
Yeah,
It's osmosis.
This is also kind of the plot of Ravenous, where it's like you eat a man, you gain his strength.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Let's all start doing this.
So I wonder with Jeepers Creepers.
Give me Jane Goodall's brain. She ain't using it.
Dude. R.I.P. Jane
R.I.P.
Goodall.
R.I.P.
And everybody should go read In the Shadow of Man. It's so accessible. It's a brilliant piece of science writing. Jane Goodall was so far ahead of her time
Yeah.
and so radical
my
in her
girl.
field. It's absolutely wild. But
Berg, would you have known that was Jeepers Creepers if I had not said the word peepers?
no, definitely not.
Which is insane, dude.
I haven't seen
23
it.
years. Oh, you
I haven't seen it.
watch I think it's the third or the second one where it's a school bus of football players and
Oh,
cheerleaders.
the second one. The second
It's
one.
so fun.
Yeah,
It's
I was in an acting class with a dude who was like in that. And he was
That's
like,
so
I'm one of the
fun.
football players that like
Oh,
gets
fun.
eaten by the creeper.
Oh, that'd be
fun.
fun. I would have loved that for me. Also, Jeepers Creepers is trending right now on TikTok.
Is it?
Because there's a black man that dresses exactly like him, looks exactly like him, does like the full as prosthetics, and will like dance on live to like. I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. And he just dance. He'll be like, and it's trending.
Oh my
and this
God.
one girl was like, if there's one character from horror world that you would fight and win, who do you think? And she was like, Jeepers Creepers. That monster's easy. And everyone's like, you're an idiot. So now he's making TikToks that's her like. Her icon, and he's like, I'm coming for you.
Oh my God. I thought, like, is it sexy? Like, I thought people were like thirsting for the creeper.
Oh no. Well, there's
No, the creeper thirsts.
He's thirsting. There is a group of people that
We
will
should
dress
get
up-
together to talk about second beats. Oh, what do you think the best way to initiate them
Guys,
is?
who keeps inviting the creeper to our new improv teams?
I threw my cards down, looked at the chat, and the sweet thing in the chat, I will say, someone said that we know we're focused on horror movies, but we should do this for sci-fi. And I was like,
We should.
I will prep
Yeah.
Berg with the movies that I choose for sci-fi because I have so many questions in Star Trek that I need you to explain how it will not be possible to happen.
Yeah, there's a great documentary special called The Science of Doctor Who. If you haven't watched
that's
it, it is
fine.
great because they go into everything from like, oh, is it possible to have something that is like bigger on the inside and what would that look like? And it's, as a Doctor Who nerd, I watched that whole
I
thing.
bet with like newer things, like even Rick and Morty and the newer Doctor Who, they're like more on top of it about the science stuff.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
because
they're
it's like
taking it from real life.
Let's talk. Let's use real.
I will say this much, speaking as the partner of someone who's been in the Rick and Morty writers' room for a couple seasons and knowing a lot of those dorks, they will lose like a week to being like, yeah, okay. So like, yeah, like a gremlin reproduces with water, but like, how much pulp would have to be in orange juice before the orange juice wouldn't reproduce the
Oh,
gremlin?
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
If it's orange juice from concentrate, which is mostly water, would that be enough water to turn
I don't
turn
know.
a gremlin?
I thank God I'm not part of these conversations.
I will also say I was the season that I wrote for a regular show was set in space, and they paid for us all to get a tour of JPL.
That sounds
Oh,
great.
that's cool.
Yeah, and we were just like, wow, we're not going to really use any of this because it's a blue jay and a raccoon in
Yeah,
space.
yeah.
But this is great. This
Yeah,
is the greatest work
super
field
cool.
trip ever.
A blue jay and a raccoon in space. Let's literally put that on a show. Put it on a shirt. Put it on a show. Mine. Oh wait. So yeah, other than
Oh, so for Jeepers Creepers?
So they've all
can-
been possible.
yeah, you can but so
Well,
but
like
you can't
organ
do multiples,
transplants.
right? You can't do like
there's-
2 hearts.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe
But I
you
think
could.
I think the creeper only needs
But-
one heart.
But he has like 3.
Oh, does
They
he?
did that in the
That
second
greedy?
movie. He got shot and it came back forward, and they're like he has a bunch of organs inside of
that
himself.
greedy mother.
But here's the thing, is like, because like, so if you look at like the transhumanist community, who of all like the techno-utopian, techno-fascist communities are probably the most inclusive and least insane. Like, there's an artist, I can't remember his name, but he wired basically a seismometer like that detects earthquakes. And so like whenever there's an earthquake anywhere on the planet, he gets a physical sensation wired into his brain.
I don't want that.
And he translates it as a dance. And so he'll like has like these like performances where he's dancing the seismic rhythms of the
That's
earth.
crazy.
And he
as hell,
partners with a woman who has a visual implant that activates something in her optic cortex when I think when like thunderstorms are near or something, and she'll paint that stuff like so you can the human body is a suggestion.
That's a great way of thinking.
You know what I mean?
The only time that earthquake implant would come in handy is when everyone starts texting the Slack.
Yeah,
Was that an earthquake? And you could be like, yes, it was.
Yeah, yeah.
I know.
Yeah, there's Sven. He's dancing. Like, 6.3.
Stop it. Okay. So someone said I'm just burning doing the earthquake dance.
Yeah.
Sarah Hachidor said the human body is a suggestion is crazy work. And you're not wrong, Sarah.
I believe it.
Hey, it's Zach here. I want to talk to you about something. I've never paid enough attention to my underwear. If I'm being honest, I usually just bought whatever was the cheapest brand I happened to come across whenever I needed a few new pairs, you know? And because of that, I just assumed all underwear was kind of the same level of uncomfortable. Then I found out about Skims, okay? They started making underwear for men, and I figured I'd try it out. It is ridiculously comfortable. I got a few pairs of the stretch boxer briefs, and they're truly some of the most comfortable underwear I've ever worn. They're lightweight and sleek and have that perfect balance between keeping everything in place while also making you feel like you're wearing nothing at all. My only complaint is that I wish I'd had a couple pairs during that hot LA summer, okay? But better late than never. Shop Skims Men's at skims.com. That's SKIMS.com. Let them know we sent you. After you place your order, select podcast in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows.
Do you want a hard one? I can give you
sure.
a hard one since all mine are easy. This is actually very easy. In this 2021 horror fantasy, a childless couple in rural Iceland discovers a strange, unnatural newborn sheep in their barn. The baby is part sheep, part human. Can we create a half lamb, half human hybrid? And if so, where do I adopt one?
I don't know what this movie is.
I have to admit, when you posted this, I did not know what
You
it
don't
was.
know what? Oh, this is Lamb. Lamb is a great little movie that came out in 2021. I think it's just a really precious little movie about a little sheep that's half human, half sheep.
Is it scary?
It's scary. It's supposed to be kind of like a thriller because the family have been trying to have kids for a long time and they couldn't. And then when they take this sheep, not only are they taking it away from their mother, that's like, that's my sheep, that's my baby, they have to kill it. They're haunted by like, spoilers.
Sheep ghost?
A sheep monster man.
Oh, hell yeah.
He has like a
Oh.
human male body. He's like a walking demon that has a goat head and a
Oh,
human
love
body.
this.
And he's like, that's my offspring and she's gonna take my place. And he goes back and kills all of them and takes the baby away. But the baby got so used to being like kind of a human. It didn't speak. It would just like run up, take its toy with its little hand that's human, not its sheep hoof. But I immediately was obsessed with it because I want one.
Well,
Now
so-
that kid's got to go back to like being a regular old sheep.
But it was never really a regular. As soon
But
as it was
like
born,
on its
it came out
birthday,
like
it's like, can I get a Baskin Robbins ice cream cake? And the dad is like, no, you're a sheep. You get sheep food.
Yeah, you get what, like a bale of hay and oats? I don't
Yeah,
know. What the hell
And all that
eat?
sheep wants is a Fudgy the Whale cake.
Yeah, let him have a Fudgy the Whale, Jess. What's your problem?
Hey, I'm here for
Wait,
the
so
baby
here's-
sheep, but can we splice our human DNA with a sheep to make a baby
Yeah.
half sheep and I can have it?
I think I'm going to give a qualified yes. Because like we can do like, you know, you can like grow like a ear on a pig.
Yeah,
and, like, you
that's
know, like,
true.
and have you seen the rat with the human ear
Yeah,
on its
it's
back?
disturbing.
You know, like you know, so you can get you can again the human body is a suggestion. Why not suggest sheep? To
You
it?
think it would immediately, it can just like clock a...
No.
Oh.
I think you'd wind up with something real fucked up. But
Yeah. put in a human hand onto where the hoof is.
yeah.
Oh, man.
But you know, I will say this: there was you were talking about like how like the sheep couldn't return. There's two famous cases. One involving the whale from Free Willy,
Oh, no.
and one involving a research chimpanzee
no.
named Nim Chimpsky.
No, Berg.
After Noam Chomsky. But so, in early primate language studies, again, R.I.P. Jane Goodall, she was not part of this nonsense, but they were like, well, what if maybe they found like some evidence that maybe chimps do have like something approaching language. And they're like, what if we just raised it in a human home, like a human baby? Would it learn to speak? The answer is no. And then, like it was never able to really be a chimp because socially and culturally it had been raised human, even though genetically it was chimp. And then the Free Willy orca, whose name I forget, they released, but it was so depressed because it didn't know how to interact with whales that it like stayed in a fjord and would just like kind of like lump up against like human boats whenever they'd come through. So like, could we make a human animal chimera a la lamb or like Island of Dr. Moreau or something like that? I bet if we can't do it now, we're not too far away from being able to do it. Again, like,
But should we
do it?
should we? Hell yes, it's obviously a good idea. It's
Jessica
great.
wants one in her apartment with
I
her
just
cat.
want a little baby lamb that runs around, and it has a little yellow overalls.
I think something we maybe could and I don't know if I'd go so far as to say should, but do in the near future is be able to take like, well, hey, this animal produces a certain, like, whales almost never get heart disease for some reason. Like, and it's because like heart cells divide very rarely, and that's why you so frequently, you don't really hear about heart cancer.
They cook with olive oil spray instead of butter.
Exactly. They don't use Pam. They would never use Pam. But like I think like you could see like something approaching human animal hybrid if it's like, well, we're taking this enzyme this animal produces that has like these anti-cholesterol properties, and we're splicing it into the genome at the gamete level, and then that thing's just gonna have it. You could do that. But I think we're still a ways away from like a cute little kid having an errant hoof.
Maybe we don't want. Maybe we're too afraid of what we don't understand, and that is one thing that we will never understand. Is a lamb child.
Was it What We Do in the Shadows where they had all the lamb kids? And like not the final season, the second and final season.
This sounds vaguely familiar.
It's like Laszlo was doing experiments with Guillermo to try to figure out like how much vampire he had become, and then he like made all these weird little like goat hybrids. They're like, Daddy. Right? You guys don't remember this?
Jessica and I took a trip to the Gentle Barn recently. If you don't know it, look it up. We got to pet a bunch of cows, pet a bunch of pigs.
And if you turn that bull into a half human, I would love him forever. He would be my pet bull.
Sounds great.
Jessica's gonna kidnap it.
I am.
Berg. Sometimes men want their wives to have bigger boobs. Sometimes they want them to be robots. Sometimes they want them to be robots with bigger boobs.
Amen, sister. Conversation ended. You said it all perfectly.
How close are we to robot big boobed wives that do exactly what their husbands want them to?
I mean, okay, so there's a couple things we could be talking about here. I presume I have never actually seen any of the Stepford Wives movies, but they have to be robots, right? Or clones?
In the book and in the original movie, they are robots, and they justify it by being like, this guy worked at Disney. Like Disneyland.
Oh, like he's an Imagineer.
Yeah, they basically get like a bunch of like very important men. One who's like an artist and can like sort of sketch the wives like perfectly. Another who worked at Disneyland and knows their like animatronics and things like that. In the terrible like Nicole Kidman reboot, they clearly wanted it to be like slightly less sexist, missing the entire point of the original
kind
book.
Of
And so they were like, well, we don't want people to dislike Matthew
Bueller, right?
Jessica Parker.
Right, yeah. What the hell is that guy's name? Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
So we don't want to make him like sexist. So they were like sort of something else altogether. But in the original, they killed the original wives and then like had like hot, big boobed robot wives that functioned like wives. Like they would shop and they would cook and they would clean and they would have sex with them. You couldn't get into a political discussion with them.
My question is. Is the question, can we make robots with big boobs, or is the question, how close are we to doing that?
Like, let's say, does anyone's neighbor out there have a big boobed robot?
My friend's dad is one of the engineers in Michigan that creates those big boobed robot women, and it's fucking weird.
I feel like with AI now,
well, I was gonna say like,
just sort of mix it.
You know that Sam Altman and Elon are like sitting around going like, okay, so for the next Grok update, what if instead of pure Nazi, we went like, like hot waifu, which they did. Like I think like AI, I could go off on AI right now, and I'm not gonna, but like, I think right now it's way overhyped. ChatGPT is impressive. It's pattern matching. It's not doing any actual thinking. Anyone who thinks it's consciousness is projecting meaning onto the things it's saying, the same way we project meaning onto constellations in the stars, etc. However,
I'm
just
still
like a
into
Gemini.
astrology, and
You
I
can be
do
into
not
it.
give a fuck.
you can be into it.
I am not, but
But you know what I mean? Like, so I think like we're a ways off AI from making something conscious. Robotically, could we make something that tricked a shallow man into thinking he was sleeping with a lady with jugs? Yeah, I think we've had that technology for like 40 years.
I don't know. I've been to the Hall of Presidents a lot, and none of those are too realistic.
Yeah, they could be
I
putting
don't
giant
want
balls on
to
them.
bone any of those.
You put
robots,
some
is what
jugs
I'm
on
saying.
melty animatronic Trump. You're not telling me you wouldn't jump
All
his
right,
bones?
that's a different story.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
different story.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're a ways away from machine consciousness still. I think we don't have the right. We can't define what consciousness is, so we can't figure out whether or not it's dependent on neurons or whether you could do it in a computer, whatever it is. No one agrees on the definition. The closest thing we have to a definition is literally Sam Altman going, once we make X amount of money, then it's artificial general intelligence.
I will say the Stepford Wives don't seem to, they like sort of seem to have, like they can talk about areas, which the areas are like, oh, nice weather today. Oh, I used a new floor wax. Oh, this is my recipe for cake.
That I think we're pretty
but
close
you
to.
can't be like, hey, what do you think the meaning of dreams is?
Yeah.
And they can't like answer.
Yeah, that I think ChatGPT does. You know, like you can say ChatGPT like, hey, I'm trying to bake a cake, but I'm all out of eggs, and it'll go like, try a ripe banana. You know, like it'll do that kind of stuff. But
Just as a note, because so many people were asking, yeah, it is the Stepford Wives.
Yes,
Yeah.
the Stepford Wives. Yes, great book, quick read. It's a very thin book. Same guy that did Rosemary's Baby. Go read it. It's great.
oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's great.
All right. Yeah.
Jack Attack said there's an orca that is part of a dolphin pod off the coast of Maine.
That dolphin pod's gonna get eaten alive when
No,
it falls
no,
asleep.
What are you fucking talking about, man?
Orcas-
If anything, they're gonna all blast that whale at once.
Orcas are gnarly, man. Orcas
make
are
friends with
smart and they're
them.
gnarly. I don't trust it.
I
don't
love
trust
orcas.
Don't orca. Don't orca.
Don't orca.
Don't orca.
I love a good orca. Mine, is this one hard or is this one just complicated?
I feel like mine started out hard, got progressively easier.
Mine started off disgusting.
Well, yours
and
wound up with like, hey, could I has a sex robot? I was like, yeah.
This whole game was just a ruse for me to get that question answered.
Gina's been
without asking you
Gina's asking if you
directly.
can put organs in people's bodies
day.
and then ask for a sex bot.
All day long, be like, Bert, don't read Slack. Can I has a sex robot?
She's trying to put a heart in her sex bot.
My 2 years at New Rockstars has all been a long con to get to this
Yeah.
episode of the Breakroom.
Gina, in the
needs
most
my
respectful way,
permission.
if you're using your money to buy the sex
Yeah,
bot
yeah.
with a heart,
Yeah, no,
you're
turn in
making
a
the sin,
receipt.
man.
A sex bot with a heart of gold.
Yeah, end of the month, turn in a receipt. You can get reimbursed.
Ooh.
You get reimbursed for that
Wait,
sex
we get
robot.
reimbursed for our sex bot?
I do, yeah.
I just want, again, and I said this in our meeting, I just want the monster from Shape of Water.
Oh yeah.
If I
Jessica
could-
wants to
and
bone that
that is
fish
my
man.
sex bot.
Jessica wants to bone that fish man.
And his wiener is cocooned.
That's
like
the
it
next
is in the-
science question. Can I bone that fish man?
Yes.
Can I bone that fish man? Okay, no.
Can I has sex robot? Can I has fish man?
Oh my god. Someone said Gina pulling off the 2-year long con of questions.
It's true. It's true.
Oh my god.
You won't see me from this point on. I'll have quit. I'll be like, I have got everything
Yeah,
I need
you
to know.
you won't. Yeah, what is it? What is that saying that they say? You won't know when I'm a billionaire, but you'll see
There will
what's
be
happening.
signs,
Yeah,
there
there'll
will
be
be
signs, and
signs.
it's just you with a bot in your car.
Yeah. Just a bot schlong next to
Gina,
my head.
by the way, has the tiniest car in the world, so that a sex bot would not be able to do that
It's a
fast.
4-door hatchback. It's an
It's
average
so
size.
tiny.
It's a Honda Fit.
Okay, mine. Okay, mine. In this 2017 hit, a young black man discovers his girlfriend and her whole white family have been kidnapping black people and colonizing their bodies and somewhat their minds. How possible is it to hypnotize someone or operate just in a coma-like state?
I've been hypnotized. I've been straight up hypnotized.
You
This
seem
is science.
unhypnotizable to me.
This is
What's that?
science.
Well, yeah, so I was in...
Wait, what? What were you on hallucinogenics?
No. I might have been drunk. I don't remember. But I was in Vegas on a road trip, and there was a hypnotist, and they asked for volunteers, and my friends were like, Berg, you got to do it. And so I did it, and I got hypnotized, and I sang Hey Ya on stage in front of of a room full of Vegas people.
Okay, wait, I believe it because he doesn't know that song.
No, yeah. Wait.
Excuse me, my baby don't mess around.
Oh, you don't want to hear me, you just want to dance.
Wait,
Yeah.
this is shocking to me because
what to
for
do.
my senior year project graduation, which I don't know if you all had that, but it was you after graduation to keep kids from getting drunk, they plan all this fun stuff and they basically sequester you so you can't immediately go and get drunk and die.
Yeah.
They had a hypnotist. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, I want to get hypnotized. And he straight up said, listen, if you're a questioner, if you're someone who questions a lot, and I'm starting to do the hypnosis, and you find that there's a running thing in your mind that's is this working? I'm not sure if it's working.
Oh,
you probably can't be hypnotized.
Well, so here was my thing when I was, because I was hypnotized. He would say, do this thing, sing
That's
into
so
your shoe,
insane.
and I would just do it. But I never felt like I couldn't do it if it was a bad idea.
Okay. See, I stepped down because I couldn't be
Yeah,
hypnotized.
if he had said, okay, now punch this person in the throat, I would have been able to go wait, what?
I have heard that you can't be hypnotized to do something you wouldn't. I can't hypnotise you to kill someone you don't want to kill.
Well, but so here's the weird thing, right? So I want to kill everybody.
Okay, then fair enough.
No.
As
But
a white man with blonde hair and blue eyes, I show
now's my time to shine. 2026, baby.
Show them your pants right now.
Here we go.
Where did he go?
Let's do it.
I can't see
It was
him.
a joke.
I can't see his lower half.
But so
Pull your dick out.
here was. Yeah, my dick's been out this whole time,
But it's
and it's been
camouflaged.
fine. No one's complained. But here's the weird thing about the hypnosis thing is after the thing was done and they snap you out of it or whatever. I went to get my VHS copy of my tape signed by Justin Trans.
Okay.
Justin Trans, yeah. And he was signing it, but next to me was another woman who had been hypnotized who didn't snap out of it. And her friend or sister or whoever was with her was freaking out because she wouldn't come out of it. And he was like, oh yeah, she'll get there eventually, and gave her a legal pad and a pen to start drawing with. And she was drawing it looked like occult symbology.
No, I'm not doing this.
It was so weird. And I'm very science brained.
That's why I think it's weird.
But what she was doing was automatic writing. It was she was not there, man.
A lot of people in the chat, I think, agree with Gina. They're like, I believe him because he's a science person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really skeptical.
But there are people who can't be hypnotized.
Yes.
There are people who are just too, I'm too in my head.
Yeah.
But I saw a girl at my high school get hypnotized into thinking she was Wile E. Coyote and someone else in the audience was the Roadrunner, and every time the guy snapped, she would go, get over here, and then chase him.
That's crazy.
And then the other person would go, meet, and run away.
Well, and I think too, part of in Get Out, they're talking also about and we're gonna transfer your personality into this other person's body, whatever it is, which gets a little bit into some of the interesting stuff in Alien Earth,
and Black Mirror.
And Black Mirror, absolutely. And that, the question there is, is consciousness, and this gets back to the ChatGPT thing, right now there's two dominant schools of theories on consciousness, which, this is what I studied in college. This was my fun thing, was cog sci. Yeah, but so right now there's two dominant theories on consciousness. One is computationalism, which is that consciousness is a function that is the result of a certain set of procedures, which is what ChatGPT is doing, right? We put in the right numbers, we get the right computing power, out pops consciousness. The brain does it, we're gonna do it. The other school is the structuralists, which is represented by Giulio Tononi at the University of Wisconsin and his theory of phi. Christoph Koch is also big on this, and their thing is that consciousness is a structure, like gravity. It's a property of matter. You can simulate gravity on a computer, but that computer doesn't get heavier because for something to actually have gravity, it has to be interacting with the rest of the universe in a way. And so if you believe the computationalists, then yeah, sure, you could drop someone else's consciousness into someone's body. You just have to rearrange the neurons.
Right.
If you believe the structuralists, the consciousness that's there is like the gravity that's there. It's not fungible. You couldn't just take
Right.
a lump of consciousness and put it over here. Or
But
something
you
like
could
that.
put that consciousness into a big boobied robot lady because
Big-titted
that
lady.
lady has a robot brain.
Yeah, or a fish monster.
Oh, fish monster.
Or
All I
fish
want is
monster.
Berg's consciousness put into a big booby lady.
You and me both, man. All right? Quit acting like we're not on the same page here.
That's insane. I'm still shook by this, but I also I'm a firm believer of too many things. I'm scared of everything because
It was
my whole
See, I think you could get hypnotized.
probably. I'm afraid of everything because my whole logic is like I just don't want to mess with it. I just don't mess with it. I just don't mess with it. If I see something scary happening, I go, I don't want to really mess with it. I'm like, I'll walk away from it. I would never. If someone was like voluntarily was like, come up here and get hypnotized, I'd probably be like, no. Also, I don't know my limits because it's like, yeah, of course, I probably wouldn't do something I wouldn't want to do. But if I necessarily was hypnotized and was like, well, I normally pull my pants down at home, so I don't mind. I watch me do it. Like, I
well,
don't
and
know.
then you mentioned like psychedelics too. It's like, well, you can have a completely depersonalizing experience where
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
what you are ceases to exist. Like
My last question to this, and then Gina will take the last one.
yeah. Oh yeah, I don't know how long we're running.
I said that we said we would do like 5 and 5, but I also want to be mindful of everybody's time.
Brian's too chill to cut us off.
mindful of
We
everyone's
started
time.
6 minutes late, so we still got 6 minutes
Is
left.
it more of a feeling of actually being hypnotized, or is it like more of just like releasing
Inhibitions.
Yeah, your inhibitions.
Yeah.
You know what it was? I can actually come up with a very direct parallel. When I was in college, I was a real heavy drinker, like blackout drunk, like 3 or 4 nights a week. And my best friend was stone sober. This is a man you know. And his, I will not name him on stream, but if you come to UCB at 7 o'clock tonight, you can see him do improv with me.
Oh, damn.
So
You don't have to know him, but you can see him.
you can see him. It's better if you don't know him. But so Fernie's, my friend Fernie's whole thing was like, I would get real drunk.
You just said his name.
That could be anyone's.
It could be
a
any
code
Fernie.
name.
Yeah.
It could be a
Could
code
Be the
name.
There's
name
only
for
one
a big
Fernie.
boobied robot.
Might not be Alex Fernie who directed several
Oh my
episodes of
God,
Children's
okay.
Hospital. It could be anybody. It could be anyone. We're talking hypotheticals here. Okay, but so I'd be sober. I'd be like just blackout drunk, and he'd be sober, and he was so good at being like, hey, you know what would be a good idea right now? And he would find the right level of thing where he'd be like, you should just take your pants off and walk through the party and see if anyone notices. And I'd go like, fuck, he's right. And I would just do it, or he'd be like, you should try to jump over the river. You probably won't make it, but it'll be a fun story. And be like, he's right. I got to try to
He's
jump
like the
over the
drunk
river.
whisperer.
Yes, and so like that's what being hypnotized was like. Was that thing of you're like, well, I know I won't get hurt. It's probably like not a great idea, but it's not such a bad idea that I'm gonna
Yeah.
resist it. It
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
it was just very suggestible. You
Yeah.
know, like that's what being hypnotized felt
Okay.
like.
Yeah.
And that makes and for those reasons,
Yeah.
I'll whip a titty out. Like I can't
Yeah,
be
yeah. No,
Yeah.
but that's like usually in my everyday life. Anytime someone tells me to do anything, I'm like, why? Explain the logic to me. I'm always like that East Coaster that's like, I have several questions.
Yeah,
so
why-
when I was being like, when they were trying to hypnotize me, I was like, okay, but why would I do this? Is it logical? Like, is
Yeah.
it? And then I sat down because I was like, oh, I'm gonna question everything. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm unhypnotizable. You've been challenged, internet. Come hypnotize me. No, don't. That's creepy.
Yeah, Gina, why would you offer?
This last one's so easy. Hey, what if avians?
Could be anything. I'm just it could be any movie. Impossible
What
to
if a
figure out.
society of avians
Yeah, sure.
got together and decided to attack blonde ladies?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
any people, really,
Yeah,
but
sure.
mainly like blonde ladies and,
Yeah.
and some other humans. Like, can we train an avian society, or will they do this of their own free will if they like got pissed at humanity and they were like, we're not cool anymore, humans?
Okay, look, it's
Really
obvious.
quick, I need you to guess the movie, but everybody in the chat, as soon as you said avians, guessed it as well.
Well, yeah, because the movie is obviously
wanted-
birdemic.
Oh, if it was Birdemic. By the way, my brother's favorite thing to watch in the world is Riff Tracks Birdemic. If you
Oh, yeah.
go find the Riff Tracks Birdemic.
My mom is obsessed with riff tracks. And
Oh, my brother is
Mystery
too.
Science Theater. I can't watch any of those things anymore.
Yeah, set
my
your
mom
brother up.
ruined it.
Set your mom up with your mom.
No,
brother.
dude, I'll kill her. I can't watch those.
Please,
ever
we're
again.
trying to kill Gina's brother. It's
Oh, sorry.
the only
Gina's
way to make it
brothers
happen.
first. Me at the top of the ass mouth.
Yeah. Jane Goodall's involved somehow.
Sorry, guess the movie and then you.
Well, yeah, so it's birds, like
Mystic Pizza.
it's Mystic Pizza. And this is, having grown up in Connecticut, this is what Connecticut is like. Everyone works at a pizza place. You're always in love with your babysitter.
He's set in Connecticut.
You're always in love with your babysitter. But I mean, certain species of bird, which are dinosaurs, birds are dinosaurs. We call dinosaurs non-avian dinosaurs, and birds are avian dinosaurs. But like crows are really intelligent and will work together to achieve a goal, And there were a bunch of anecdotal stories from during the pandemic of people who would how we all lost our goddamn minds in early 2020, and all of a sudden sourdough was the only bread you were allowed to have an interest in. But there was a woman who started feeding the crows in her neighborhood because she had nothing else to do. The crows became really protective of her, and if she was out walking with a friend, the crows would start swooping and attacking the friend.
Good. I don't want friends.
Crows
Protect
remember
me,
faces.
birds.
Yeah. Crows remember faces. They're really smart. There was a researcher named Irene Pepperberg who I saw give a lecture once.
No relation to you?
None, sadly.
Wow.
And her parrot was named Alex.
Oh.
But Irene Pepperberg, brilliant animal language researcher who had an African gray parrot named Alex who passed away not too long ago. Alex was capable of feats of linguistic logic leaping that previously were only attributable to humans and primates. And so there's a book I read recently, I'm going to forget the name of it. It's from Princeton University Press. It's about avian cognition. But the way a bird's brain is structured is different from a mammalian brain. They don't have cortex. They have something called I want to say a neocaudate, neolateral caudate. It's CAUDATE is part of it. I don't remember the rest of it. But it just functions in a completely different way, but can achieve a lot of the same goals. So all I'm saying is there's a lot of things we have not attributed to birds specifically because they lacked cortexes. But tool use in crows, language use in African gray parrots, and a lot of complex signaling in songbirds, including complex styles of learning in songbirds, seems to indicate there's a lot more going on under the surface that we had thought you needed a cortex for that you don't need a cortex for. So could they all organize into a big thing the way murmurations of starlings will somehow coordinate their behavior and stuff? Yeah, I think that's pretty possible. Would they? I don't know. We killed off the passenger pigeon, so good luck.
I was going to ask, so does it differ between birds? Because pigeons you can domesticate immediately. I can rip one off the street and take it home and make it a pet. But I can't teach it to
Stop doing that, Jess. We told you got too many pigeons.
I'm actually just trying to tie them all to my arms. So
No, it's for your Halloween costume of the bird lady from Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
And I'm literally they're dead.
Yeah.
Still dead.
Yeah, just walk around. Honestly, a Halloween costume that's you walking around with as many dead pigeons strapped to your arms
I would never.
as you can find places. But terrifying, though. Think how many kids would have nightmares forever.
I genuinely will look at pigeons all the time. When I was even in New York, I was like, I could just pick this one up.
Yeah. I love pigeons. People call them rats, but
yeah, I love all animals.
Yeah.
But so a pigeon from a freaking parakeet from a freaking raven from a crow.
Oh, yeah, there's a huge span. I mean, in the same way that humans are real closely related to chimps. Chimps are pretty bright, but we're also pretty closely related to marmosets and have you ever seen a slender loris? Someone who's in the chat.
I love slender loris.
They're so great, but
they're so cute. They're adorable.
Yeah, no, they're adorable, but or an eye or something we're pretty closely related to that. There's a huge difference. So, even within birds, something like a cassowary, which is basically just a dinosaur, probably has very different mental faculties than something like a crow, not that one is any more or less evolved than the other, just a crow evolved into an environment where it had to be adaptable and maybe a little bit social, and so it has these other things. Same thing with parrots. Parrots also raise their young in a way most birds don't do. Parrots are really...
They let them watch as much TV as they want.
Yeah, and some parrots are Montessori, no screen time, no cocoa melon.
No.
Their blocks have complex shapes. Their kids can only have snacks that have sprouted wheat.
Oh,
You know, like, they're like, you can't go
They're
to
the
a-
ones that like give out raisins on Halloween.
Or Go-Gurt.
Oh my God. My mom was
dur-
that person that would put raisins.
No!
And she got a rock thrown at her door, and she saw a dent in her door, and she's like, "Yeah, those ghetto kids." And I'm like, "No, it's because you gave
It's
them
because
raisins."
you gave them raisins. It's called trick or treat.
And you got tricked.
You got tricked.
You got a rocket.
I had raisins for lunch today. They were great.
Yeah, but how old are you? And are you trick or treating?
Yeah.
I know, I'm a 43-year-old man. It's different. It's different.
During the pandemic at my house that I owned at the time, I started to feed my backyard crows.
Oh, yeah.
And one day I came outside and they had brought me a gift, which was a tiny pickle rick.
No
It
way.
was like a little keychain pickle rick thing.
Yeah.
I took a picture of it, posted online. I have a friend who has worked with Dan Harmon on things, and sent it to him to say like, oh look, someone like crows delivered a pickle Rick, and he said, oh my God, have your friend watch this season of Rick and Morty, and that was the crow season of Rick and Morty.
That's so funny.
Anne wrote the line, there's a rap that Rick does with crows. The American crow is a danger to crops. A Rick and two crows is a danger to cops. That's an Anne Lane original.
As you said that, I think Sarah Hachadorian was like typing.
It's great.
That's so
yeah.
funny.
So you heard it here first. Berg is training his
Yeah.
bird army to kill every woman so he can replace them with big boobied robots.
So over the top, most things.
Most
Most
things are
things
like, I'd
can
say
be-
Jeepers Creepers was one where I was like, I don't know if eating something, that was like maybe the least.
I think he's.
But even that, I think,
but he's
like-
still. He could surgically put Justin Long's eyes.
Yeah,
into
yeah,
I
the
think
surgically,
so,
and
yeah.
his body would adapt to it, and that's it for us today. Talking to what is it, Berg guy, the science guy, Berg Nye, the science guy.
Berg Nye, science
If you
guy.
guys, I know a lot of you in the chat were also saying like, I could just listen to Berg talk about this forever, and there's those YouTube videos that are like 2 hours long of just learning about history, and I put that for Berg all the time in my brain, and I'm like, oh, I would listen to Berg just explain this, and maybe I wake up with the knowledge in my brain.
Yeah. Also, should we make this a new Breakroom series that we do
Yeah.
once a month or once every other month? Or
You
something?
guys, this is
I'm
like,
around.
this is the podcast. This is the type of podcast you sit and listen to while you're cooking, while
Yeah.
you're doing lunch, and you laugh because you're literally like. they're
well,
talking
maybe
about
don't
cheese
listen
words.
to the Human Centipede part while you're cooking.
We'll make a food friendly
Yeah.
version and a non friendly.
No, we'll post in the comments recipes for where you are in the human centipede. If you're first in the human centipede, it's like, here's how to get a nice steak. If
Yeah.
you're second in the human centipede, it's like, add salt to the shit you're eating.
We'll make a video that's just called "What I Would Feed Berg If He Was the Beginning of the Human Centipede."
If I were number one.
Crumble cookie. So make sure to subscribe to the Breakroom channel on YouTube and check out my video on Jennifer's body. If you want.
Yes, go over to Witching
Go
Hour.
over to the Witching Hour.
Subscribe to it. Tell your friends to subscribe to it.
Every Wednesday we're coming out with a new video. Mine was this week. Gina's is next week, you guys.
Gina, you want to give us a preview of yours?
Mine has a lot to do with film history. Jessica's had to do with feminist horror. Mine has to do with campy 80s horror and its legacy until present day. 80s campy horror to present day.
No one's gonna know what movie that is because there's a lot of campy.
There are a lot of
movies.
campy
There's a lot of campy.
Can't think of one.
And it's not trick or treat. It is not trick or treat. It is
So
trick
funny.
or treat.
Apostrophe our treat.
Yeah.
I ain't giving that movie any of my money. It only goes to 2007 Trick or Treat. Give us a follow on Twitch, where we do all these videos live. Go New Rockstars, go to our socials, go follow us. Do not hypnotize us. I swear to God, I will kill you. You will sleeper agent me by accident. I will wake up and kill you. And go subscribe to the Witching Hour. You guys, thanks for coming. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.